shout out to moms, man. She was a single mother, man, raising six of us on her own or whatever, working one and two jobs, you know what I'm saying, just to make ends meet or whatever. So not having the funds to do all of that stuff, the keyboard was one of the main things that she said, okay, cool, I'm gonna get you the keyboard. And as time went on, she seen my passion for it grow and seeing how disciplined I was to just practicing every day. And then that eventually upgraded to a bigger keyboard, and that upgraded to a piano. And
Yo, welcome to the show. Welcome to the show. So for all those crazy people out there who never heard of your boy, who ain't tapped in, they don't know what's going on. Oxon Hill, Maryland is in the building. Give us your name and tell us what you do in a couple of seconds.
My name is r&bmusic, and I'm a musician, producer, songwriter, artist.
Let's go back to where it all started for you in Oxon Hill with your moms, your pops, your brother, everybody, the dog, the cat, all of that. How did you fall in love with music?
Basically just being a kid. My mom always played music around the house as a kid. Typical. I was born and raised in the church, so I was always in the choir, always involved in some type of musical activity before I knew that it was a calling of mine. So with that being said, eventually as I got older or whatever, around 13, my mom bought me a keyboard, and obviously growing up, we didn't have the best of the most of everything. So I probably asked my mom for 1,000 things from basketballs to put me in sports. And when it got to the keyboard, that was one of the main things she invested in. So over top of just having a love for it throughout my life, because I was always around it. It was when she bought me the keyboard, to me it was like, all right, I ain't gonna get another shot. I'm gonna have to take this keyboard and run with it. And gracious enough has been able to open doors and provide me with everything I've ever wanted in life.
All right, so let me ask you this. Was you mad at mom's at first? She bought you the keyboard, but did you ask for the keyboard? She just bought it
absolutely.
for you, surprisingly.
Man, I begged for the keyboard. I said, Mom, give me the keyboard. But it was no different than me begging her for put me in sports, put me in basketball, put me in football. And also, shout out to moms, man. She was a single mother, man, raising six of us on her own or whatever, working one and two jobs, you know what I'm saying, just to make ends meet or whatever. So not having the funds to do all of that stuff, the keyboard was one of the main things that she said, okay, cool, I'm gonna get you the keyboard. And as time went on, she seen my passion for it grow and seeing how disciplined I was to just practicing every day. And then that eventually upgraded to a bigger keyboard, and that upgraded to a piano, and
All right, so. Right. Let me ask you this. Was you in your feelings at first when you didn't have the keyboard? Did you come to mom and be like, hey, mom, what's going on? You tripping. It's been 5 months. I've been asking for the keyboard. I ain't seen it yet. Did you come to your mom like that initially?
Yeah. Well, I ain't talked to my mother like that, because my mother would have, I'd have got backslapped or whatever. But as far as being disappointed, yeah, it's just like any other kid, man. When you ask for something and you don't get it, then But the good part about it is when she bought me my first keyboard, and I knew she was gonna get well, I was confident she was gonna get that one because it was a Christmas gift. But every keyboard or piano she bought me after that was an extreme surprise. Like one time, the keyboard that she had bought me, that was an graded version than that one. I just randomly came home from school, and she said, hey, let's go to the store and grab a keyboard. And mind you, it's I'm the second to the youngest out of 6 of us. So it ain't like I'm the only child and she just wanted, so for whatever reason, she took an interest in that. So the first keyboard, that was kind of expected, but everything else out of there was a surprise.
Nice. So your first keyboard, what did you have? I don't know, Yamaha or whatever. What kind of keyboard did you have with your first keyboard?
It wasn't even a Casio. It was some small toy. She probably bought it from Walmart for $20, but The first song I ever learned how to play on that keyboard was "All My Life" by Casey and JoJo.
Nice.
Yeah, so I learned that, and yeah, but that was it. But that was the first keyboard she bought me.
Okay. All right. I like that. I like that. I like that. So, did you know that the keyboard would lead to you, I don't know, having a music for ear? I mean, ear for the music. Did you know that going in, or you just wanted the keyboard because it sounded like that was the, right thing to do at that age?
Yeah, absolutely not. At the time, I had no idea I would be where I am today as a result of it. Early on, it was really just a something that the keyboard gave me an identity. Like growing up in the neighborhood or whatever, you either playing basketball or you playing football. For me, the keyboard was my identity. I was the only person in my neighborhood that knew how to play the keyboard in general. And I had a couple of friends that lived on my same block that had keyboards that their parents them bought them, but they didn't know how to do nothing with them. So for me, I became the kid in the neighborhood, like, hey, Aunt played the keyboard. So to me, I think that was the first initial uh match that got lit in me in terms of saying, okay, let me take this a little more seriously because I appreciated the separation that it gave me amongst the other kids in my neighborhood.
Nice, nice. Okay, I like that. I like that. I like that. All right. Yo, if you are just tuning in, you are tuned in to the Pimp Game Podcast, where we highlight positive, intelligent, motivated people each and every single week. And this week, we got a special one. That's right, Mr. Anthony Robinson, aka r&bmusic, the founder of the top 5 band Stop Playing, right here on the Pimp Game Podcast. So, let me ask you this. You then you went to high school and stuff like that. Were you, I don't know, were you in the choir at high school as well? Was that going on then, or did it take a little while to come along?
No, like I was definitely in the choir in high school. Shout out going out to Oxon Hill High School vocal music department. I tell people this all the time. I think I pretty much feel like I got a college musical education in high school because I didn't go to college for music. So everything that I've learned and everything that I've developed through those 4 years of being under the direction of Dr. Andrews at Oxon Hill opened the doors and put me in the rooms with people that did graduate from Berkeley, people that did go to Duke, people that was torn, and they was able to, put me up under their umbrella, and I was able to find mentors in there that gave me the rest of the knowledge that I needed to pursue music professionally.
I like that. I like that. I like that. So let me ask you this: while you were in the choir, did you discover your superpower? Maybe from writing songs, maybe from producing. Did you know what your actual niche was in the music, or you already knew you could do everything?
No, absolutely not. Me being in the choir really was me just trying to become the best keyboard player that I could possibly become. The writing, producing, and all that other stuff didn't come into play until I started playing keys professionally, and I was starting to be hired from national recording artists to not only play, perform with them and tour with them, but to arrange their music or arrange their show. So what that is pretty much you may look on TV and see a band playing a record, but then seeing them going crazy and like, wow, the band, it's you adding the flavor over top of what the record already requires. So in doing that, the artist normally sends you their stems to be able to their studio stems that they originally recorded a record out of, and those are stems you use to arrange their show, and you put your own flavor on it to give the live band that super element. So saying all that to say, with me getting so many stems from so many artists, I started not even knowing that I was learning the format of producing and understanding the sound instruments that they're using and understanding they writing format, to understand they normally put a, you know what I'm saying? So I pretty much learned how to produce and write through arranging so many artists songs.
Nice. I like that. So let me ask you this. You arranging people's songs and things of that nature, you started working with some bigger artists, obviously. Who was the first artist that you worked with where you was like, whoa, I got something here. I'm really doing something. I'm a little starstruck, even though you might not want to show it. Who was that first artist for r&bmusic that you was just like, whoa?
Well, the first artist, and mind you, I'm very rare. I don't ever get starstruck,
Mm,
but the one artist that what was a whoa moment for me is when I had the opportunity to have dinner with Mary J. Blige. She was inquiring about hiring me as her music director for a Good Morning Gorgeous tour, and we did a show with Kevin Ross in Aruba, and we came on right before. A couple of months go past or whatever. I get a random phone call, and it was Mary, Mary Camp or whatever, saying that she was backstage, loved the band, and wanted to see if we was interested in going on tour with her. So I went and had dinner with her. Probably about like 2 weeks after that phone call, long dinner too. We sat down and met for the dinner. It was probably about 5 or 6 hours long in Brooklyn, and
mm.
vibe real cool, real down to earth. So that was really the only moment for me when it was like, wow, okay, this is incredible. I'm doing something right, guys. So, you know what I'm saying? But other than that, the rest of the artists I had the opportunity to work with, to me, it was just viewed it as a grateful opportunity, something else to add to the resume. Go in, do my best, and that was it.
So let me ask you this: when you had that meeting with Mary J. or her camp called you, were you in disbelief? Did you think they was doing a prank phone call on you initially, or was you?
Yeah,
How was
yeah,
your reaction?
absolutely.
Did you think it was a prank at first?
I absolutely thought it was a prank because so because me and my management manager both booked shows for Top Five. So when the number came through my call ID was Jane Murray. That was Jane Murray. I'm thinking that somebody calling for a show for Top Five. So they called and said, "Hey, is this Anthony?" I said, "Yes, this is Anthony. Did you guys play with Kevin Rose and Aruba?" Yes. So as she answering the questions, I'm starting to put two and two together. But yeah, absolutely, I didn't know that. I didn't know. It was real or whatever. And then it didn't get real until I actually, we met her and I saw her walk into the restaurant, and they closed off the session and the meeting started. And
Mm.
yeah, that's when I was like, okay, cool.
So was you shaking at the meeting? Where did y'all eat at? What's up? Was it Red Lobster?
No,
Where
no,
was
no, no.
y'all eating at with Mary J?
I was a restaurant called the Brooklyn Chop Shop. Brooklyn Chop
Mm,
Shop. And they surprisingly, I was nervous all the way up until I met her. And I get like that sometimes
mm.
even with shows I do, whatever. I'll be nervous until I step on stage, and then a confidence come over me and say, okay, you here now. So with Mary, it was the same thing. Once she sat down, and special shout out to Mary too, whatever. She made us feel absolutely comfortable. Like by the time we were done the meeting, I was eating fried lobster off her plate. Like she made us feel that comfortable. Very, very, very down to earth, very sweet spirit, very humble. You know what I'm saying? So yes, I was nervous before the meeting started, but once we got in there, it was like it's like I'm having the same conversation with you right
Mm. Wow.
now. Mhm.
So how surreal is that to be noticed by one of the greats, Mary J. Blige? What how surreal is that for you? Like not knowing that while you opening up for her, you working with Kevin Ross, she's acknowledging you from afar.
Man, it's really a dream come true in terms of knowing that with being in the position that I'm in as the leader of Top Five and Kevin Ross, music director, is a lot of responsibility fall on you. So even with that show in Aruba, we enrolled with a backup drummer, a fill-in drummer. Special shout going out to my boy Alton. And really, we really was just trying to do a good job. Like it wasn't about
Mm.
impressing Murray. It was just making sure that we did whatever we do to represent Kevin to the best of our ability. So in that moment or whatever, it was a decision I had to make as a leader, saying, like me and my guitar player who also co-arranged Kevin shows, me and him had a conversation saying, hey, we coming on right before Murray. Let's put together a whole new show. And I had to sit him down and say, man, in these situations, it's best to just run the show that we know, run the show that we most comfortable with. Because even though this show may seem dated to us, nobody in Aruba has heard the show before. So the result to come from that to be Mary J almost hiring us to do her tour was to me just confirmation that of keep following my gut, keep doing what I'm doing, and keep believing in what I'm doing.
So let me ask you this: in terms of Kevin Ross, how did you get in contact with him? Because he's dope right now, popping, touring all over the place. How did you get with Kevin Ross?
So Kevin, so my guitar player, special shout going out to Jay. He the one who actually bridged the relationship. He did an acoustic set for Kevin. I don't know where they was, but that's Kevin had called Jay, and this is probably about 5 or 6 years ago. Matter of fact, it might even be longer than that. He called Jay or whatever. They did an acoustic thing, and then Kevin had something else come up that he had to do a live performance at Sirius XM in DC. So he called Jay and was asking Jay for some references for some bands. And obviously Jay been with Top 5 since day one. So Jay said, hey, he has a band which was, Top 5. We did Sirius X, we did Sirius XM with Kevin in DC, and really we've been rocking out ever since.
Wow. So the chemistry, is that important when you working with a artist? Is that huge? Can any band work with any artist, or is there a chemistry factor when you're working with a Kevin Ross or Mary J. Blige? The synergy might not be there. Is chemistry a big factor?
Yes, and this my take on that may be a little bit different from most. I feel like if anybody professional enough at their craft, in terms of just being dialed in on the music, anybody can pretty much play for anybody. But as far as chemistry, it's that flavor and that icing on the cake. You just can't, you know what I'm saying? You can't buy. Like it ain't. There's no amount of practice you can do that'll make me, my guitar player, or my drummer be able to look at each other and instantly take a groove to a whole nother place without no rehearsing, no nothing. So I feel like, so to answer your question, yes and no. Yes, from the standpoint that if you're professional enough, you can play for anybody. Like, and meaning as in, if I'm learning a record and I'm learning the piano chords, or I'm learning a drum beat, or I'm learning a guitar lick, and it sounds exactly like the record, yes, technically that's the job. No, in terms of if an artist is asking for that extra flavor, or if we on stage and we trying to go next level live without no rehearsal, then chemistry is everything.
Well said. Well said. Well said. All right. Yo, if y'all just joining us, we're live on the Pimp Game Podcast, where we highlight positive, intelligent, motivated people each and every single week. And we got the one and only PG County's finest. That's right, Mr. Anthony Robinson, aka Ant Far Music. I love it. Right here on the Pimp Game Podcast. So let me ask you this. You're a music savant and stuff like that. People working with you, trying to work with you all the time. Does Ant Far yourself turn down artists sometimes if they want to work with you? Maybe if you ain't feeling them, you ain't feeling the track, you feel like the vocals just don't mix with what you're doing. Do you turn down artists sometimes?
Yeah, all the time, but it's never because of anything music related. It's really my schedule. I be extremely busy, and I try to be cautious on. I don't like taking on projects that I'm not able to give my 100% all to. So that'll be main. That I turn down a lot of artists, but it's based upon my schedule. And the last thing I would want is to shortchange our artists based because of my availability. And luckily for me, and actually I've turned down some situations that I'm like, I wish I wasn't doing this so that I can dial into that. But luckily for me, most artists that approach me, they music dope as on. They got really good music, and I just don't have the time or the availability to really, cater to whatever they may be inquiring of me.
So you ain't got the time. What's up? What is Ant Far Music? What are you sleeping? You ain't got no time to do this.
Man.
What's the normal, I don't know, morning routine or 24-hour day look like for Anthony Robinson?
Okay, so I wake up every morning, but between 5 a.m. to 5:30 a.m. I go work out from probably 7 to 9. I work out at least for an hour and a half to 2 hours every day. Then after that, I'm a father. You know what I'm saying? I go spend some time with my family and stuff, and then I get to it or whatever. Whether I'm arranging new music for Top Five, or whether I'm making phone calls, scheduling rehearsals for Kevin's, taking meetings, writing, producing. Do that for the that normally runs to probably about 10, 11 o'clock at night. If I'm beat, I'll come home and try to get into bed. Or if I have a little more energy, I'll try to get out, network, or go support somebody else's event. But yeah, my days normally run nonstop.
Okay. All right, Mr. Nonstop. I like it. All right. So let me ask you this. The Top 5 Band. I love the name. It's dope. It just sounds elite. That's why I like it. And I love excellence. How did you come up with the name Top 5 Band?
Initially, it was initially special shout going out to my cousin. Initially, he named the band because at the time I had I put together a group full of some of the most talented people that I've worked with, and that was the initial niche that gave him the idea of naming the band Top Five. Say, man, it's the top 5 people in the city. Y'all might as well roll with the name. But initially, after the first rehearsal or whatever, we a combination of R&B, hip hop, neo soul, go go, funk, you know what I'm saying? So pretty much the name ended up turning into our 5 favorite genres of music that we incorporate in our set. So my cousin, that one who actually came up with the name, and 1 or 2 rehearsals in or whatever, it changed from okay, we're gonna target R&B, hip hop, neo soul, go go, and funk, and that's top 5.
All right, I like it. So let me ask you this. In terms of the band, who did you come to first? Was it your cousin? Did you had the band members in mind already? Who did you come to first to get the band off the ground?
Actually, it was the artist I was working with at the time by the name of Carlton Perrine. Special shout going out to him. He was an up and coming artist or whatever. Up and coming artist, producer, singer, songwriter, the whole shebang. And really, I felt like putting together, because DC is so band based. Putting together a band behind him would hope raise his notoriety, and hopefully he get noticed by the right people, and that eventually get him signed. So Carlton was the first person that I went to, and about singing in the band. Second person was my drummer by the name of Jeremy Wimbush. And mind you, everybody I'm naming has gone on to do incredible things. So Carlton is a Grammy nominated producer and songwriter now. He wrote and produced Peru. He just put out a album with Marvin Sapp, and he got a whole bunch of stuff going on. Jeremy, my drummer, is then toured with Ty Tribbett, Music Soul Child, just got finished doing Jagged Edge. So after Jeremy is my boy Jarrell Abraham. Special shout going out to Jarrell. Jarrell is Raheem Devon music director now on bass. Jay Rojas was the 4th person, and Jaden worked with everybody from Coco Jones, Jasmine Sullivan. Jay is still in the band too currently, whatever. So and granted, nobody resumes was this prior to me calling them. This was just friends. Going back to chemistry, what you're saying, people that I've had chemistry with, that we've done gigs together with, and meshed it together.
I like that.
That's our fast.
So in the Top 5 Band, which with everybody having chemistry and stuff like that, when I don't know where it is an artist out there, maybe I don't know Lauryn Hill or something like that, maybe she need a band or something like that. Do they call you? Do they give referrals in your world?
Yeah, all the time. All the time we'll get calls, and I'll take the gig depending on our availability, and that's really what it boils down to. Is I do know that humbly, a lot of people request top 5 based upon our quality. We definitely make sure that we attack every artist that we may play behind to the best of our ability. So we get approached with a lot of artists a lot, and if we turn them down, it's only solely based upon we know the work that's going to have to go into to make sure that we still represent our brand to the best of our ability, and the time won't prevent us to be able to, commit to the necessary time.
Yo, this your boy Kenny D. Hey, I didn't mean to interrupt your show, but I just wanted to take a quick minute, just to let you guys know if you want to see more dope interviews like this one, make sure you go on YouTube and check out Pimp Game Podcast. All right? And don't forget about our website, pimpgamepodcast.com, to see all your latest Pimp Game episodes. All right? We got you. Man, I'm done talking. Back to the show. I like that. So, what is the goal for Top 5? Like, is it a thing where, I don't know, you want to be on the, I don't know, Jimmy Kimmel show, the late night show, something like that? Is that a goal? Maybe like a Roots or something like that? Is that the goal for Top 5?
Yes, absolutely. The goal for Top 5 is to be an artist, not necessarily just a band. So if we're doing Jimmy Kimmel, if we are doing something that's the format as the Roots, we're known for our artistry as a band, but also as an artist. Like I would love to have a top 5 band win a Grammy, as with a song that we produced or we've written or whatever. So yeah, both. I don't think I could settle for just being a band. You know what I'm saying? Because I feel like we have so much other talent inside of our band that we want to share with the world.
Okay, I like that. So even though you're from PG County, one of the things that's prevalent in PG County, Maryland, DC, whatever, VA, is go-go music. Well, what's up? What's your relationship with go-go? Who's your top go-go bands in the area, if you have any? Who's Anthony Robinson's top 5 go-go bands in PG County?
Top 5. It's more than 5, but I'm just gonna give you 5. But I'm first and foremost, I'm very go-go based. I grew up on Sundays. On Saturday nights, I'm in a go-go. On Sunday mornings, I'm in church. But my favorite, my number one favorite band, hands down, is Backyard. Backyard is Backyard. From a go-go perspective, there's no local band that influenced top 5 more than Backyard. Special shout going out to my big brother, Big G, Wincy, Buggy, Sauls, Bob, Nate, Mike EB. The whole Backyard camp is musically my heart. So first you got Backyard. After Backyard, I will go with Listen. Shout out to Scooby. After Listen, I'll go with What Band. What Band is one of my favorite bands too. Special shout going out to Rapper. After What Band, I want to say Vibe. Man. Special shout going out to my brother Dirk, Chris Davis on keys, Quick on drums. After Vibe, that's 4. You might have to let me do 2 categories, because you got the grown and sexy category, then you got the bounce beat category. But
you got one more band. One more band.
One more.
Who you got?
I gotta show bounce beat a little love, man. I gotta go with No Impressions. No Impressions.
They nice. So hold up. Ain't no love for Belladonna? What's up? The all-female band? What's up with Belladonna?
Absolutely. But see, you only gave me 5. I told you I had more, but I had to cut it off at 5. Man, Belladonna, man, I want to put Serious Company in there. I want to put Junkyard in there, RE. I want to put TOB in there, but you only gave me 5.
Oh yeah, I did give you 5. I wanted to see who you was gonna leave out of the top 5. If I gave you all of them, you're gonna name all of them. That's the reason why I only gave you 5. Okay, cool. So, with you loving Backyard bands so much, what's up? How's the go-go scene now in DC? Is it more of a chill vibe? I know back in the day they used to have neighborhood fights and all of that. How is it now on the go-go scene in the DMV?
It's completely different. Not as rowdy. The people that was doing that stuff back then, everybody grown now. Everybody have kids now. Some people have grandkids, and everybody really looking just to go out to have a good time. One thing I will say, that I appreciate about what I was able to do with Top Five. I like go-go bands wasn't really too known, far from what I can remember, playing in these really beautiful, nice lounges slash restaurants when the women get dressed and the food is delicious. And a lot of venues we went in, Top Five early on, a lot of the owners told me straight up, don't play absolutely no go-go. So what ended up happening is I'll abide by the rules, but my last little two songs, I sneak a little go-go in there, and over the course of the time, the club owner started, I mean, the restaurant owner starting to see how the crowd gravitated to it and how the staff gravitated to it, and that opened the umbrella of questions of them coming to me saying, "Hey, have you heard of this band named such such? I think I want to try them," and it ended up opening up avenues for go-go bands to start coming into these restaurants. So to answer your question, not at all. Like back in the day, go-go was neighborhood based. Now it's really just people, looking for an outlet. You know what I'm saying? They looking to come out and have a good time and go back home safely to their families.
Facts. I like that. I really like that. Well said. So, Top Five Band got something coming up that's major. April 13th, the first live show for Top Five Band. What's up with that? Talk to us about that. Where's that going to go down at, and what can we expect from that show?
Yeah, so actually, it's not the first live show. We play at 1,000 shows every week, but that's
Okay.
we're releasing our first ever live recording. So
Right.
so so a lot of people come to our shows. There's a lot of people that come to our shows, and there's a lot of people that's heard our name but haven't been to our shows. And the people that have that do come to our shows ask me all the time, "Is there any way I can listen to y'all on when I'm not here?" Because I've never put out a live show of us. Then if you wanted to hear Top Five, you had to come to a show to hear us. So we releasing a live recording of our live show. Not everything that we normally play at our show, but a good chunk of it. So it'll be 17 songs on the album, and people will hear. People are finally hear what happened. What goes down at our shows. But also we are that is my birthday, and I'm doing a birthday party on that day. On April 13th. As of now, the venue is going to be at Babylon, Woodbridge, Virginia, from 4 to 8 p.m.
4 to 8. Okay. I like that. So how many people can we expect there? What's up? 200, 300? What's up? How many people are we looking at?
Well, he said the spot only holds 350 people. So typically when I do my birthday party, I might average anywhere pretty much about 500 people. So obviously it's going to be sold out, but it's whoever get the tickets first, first come, first serve.
Okay. So you've worked with many artists in the industry. Is there anyone who Ant Farm Music wants to work with in the near future, maybe that you haven't worked with? Who's the artist out there that you would love to work with, but you just haven't worked with them yet?
Yeah, that's a good one. Artists I would love to work with: Drake. I would love to work with Drake, J. Cole, Drake, J. Cole, and that's really it. That's really like my top bucket list.
Okay, Drake and J. Cole. I like that. Okay. So you also work with Kelly Rowland, August Alsina. What's up with those two? What's the difference between August Alsina and Kelly Rowland in terms of working with those two, arranging music and things of that nature? What's the difference between the two artists?
Well, with the situation with August, I would just happen to be a house band on a show that he was with or whatever. So I worked with him, but technically it's not like he didn't exclusively hire me for that or whatever. But based upon the short period of time that we did vibe out, whatever, definitely talented, definitely real cool individual. And this was early August. Like this was when his #1 record just had dropped or whatever. Kelly is a full-time musician. So in terms of understanding and appreciating arranging. So with her, me and my brother Jay arranged a portion of her live show. And if the feedback I got back from her, she absolutely was floored over what she did or what we did, and musically we did certain stuff that only a musician would appreciate and would catch. So that's how I know that she kind of know. Like Kelly, she might play an instrument on the low. Like the stuff that we was falling into and the arrangements we was falling into based upon the feedback I got back. Yeah, only a musician to catch.
So when you are arranging music and working with these artists, do you bump heads with them sometimes? Because maybe your vision isn't
Yeah,
theirs. Do you bump head with the artist sometimes?
yeah. And I wouldn't necessarily call it bump head. So when you're arranging a song, you almost like reproducing a record, but you reproducing it for live and not necessarily for radio. So
Mm.
it'd be no difference if a producer was in a studio producing a record and the artist come in and say, hey, I don't like those 808s patterns like that. I think you should use these instead. It's the same thing when you're doing live arrangement. Hey, I think that might have been a little too much right there. Let's pull that out. Or hey, this part sounds empty. Can we add something right there? So it's to me, I wouldn't necessarily call it button heads. It's just everybody, it's just creating, everybody putting their input in hopes of getting the best out result.
Mm. I like that. I like that. Okay. So in terms of you doing your thing all over the place in the world, any tours coming up for Top Five Band as well, or maybe just yourself working with artists all around? Any tours coming up for Anthony Robinson?
Yeah. We actually about to hit the road with Kevin as of next week. We is it next? Yep, next week we'll be on tour with Kevin. Love Up Tempo tour. We got St.
I like
Louis
that.
and Chicago next week, and then uh April we got I'm sorry, we got Baltimore. Yeah, we got Baltimore. Then we're gonna be in Atlanta. We're gonna be in Oakland. We're gonna look at these dates. Oakland, Chicago, Atlanta, Houston, Dallas. So yeah, and that's only half of it. We're gonna be adding some West Coast dates as well. So yeah, we're currently on tour as of next week.
I like that. I like that. So, what's the best thing about touring for you? Like working with an artist and you're touring all over the place. What's the best place, or what's the best thing out there of touring with the artist?
The best thing about touring with an artist, the first and foremost, Kevin and Rob definitely make sure that we all are taken care of in terms of our flights, hotel room, making sure we eat good, making sure the conversation is good. So Kevin, and in that regard, is absolutely excellent. The downside about touring or whatever, it is work on every last one of us, Kevin included. It's late nights, early mornings. As soon as you land, you might get 30 seconds to breathe, and then you off the sound check. And then after sound check over, you might eat real quick, then you do the show, then you take a quick nap, and then you on to the next city. So it's great in terms of us doing something that we love to do for a living. But it is sometimes we love touring, but sometimes touring don't love you back. It is work.
So do you ever come to Kevin Ross and say, man, look, man, I love touring with you, but I'm tired, man. I'm tired. I need a break. I need a break, maybe a couple of hours before we do sound check. You ever come to him and tell him like, yo, I just need a break?
Yeah, no, not at all. It's at the end of
Okay.
the day, it's what we all signed up to do for a living, and what I don't ever take for granted is that I'm able to provide for myself, provide for my family, living out my dream, doing something that I absolutely love to do. So at moments when they when you are tired and those moments do get rough, it's nothing for me to just resort back to thinking about what I was before all of this. When I didn't have any money, when I didn't have any resources or whatever. So yeah, it's you tired, but you're gonna be tired no matter what you do in terms of if you working and got to put bread on the table. So if I'm gonna choose something to be tired doing, I'll be tired doing what I love to do.
All right, well said. You're gonna be tired of doing what you love. I really respect that. Really respect that. So let me ask you this in terms of working with the artists. Do you sometimes, like when you are arranging a song, what is your structure? Like, are you doing the hook first? Are you doing the verse first? Are you listening to the beat, seeing where their voice fits in? Maybe they need to do a run here, do a run over there. What is Anthony Robinson's structure when you're organizing a song?
So first and foremost, what I don't do, I don't just turn the song on and start arranging. I gotta listen to the song enough to like the song. Even if I don't like it, at least understand the song, understand where it's going. So before I start arranging a song, I might know every chord that's being played, the drum beats that's being played, the words to the record, to for me to really kind of dial in. And then and then once I download that, I'll just go to whatever part of the song feels good, feels the best, and start right there and work my way off that. So sometimes I might start arranging a song in the middle of the song. I might start arranging the song at the end of the song and then jump back to the beginning. Or sometimes I might start arranging the song from the beginning and just, run it all the way through.
Okay. All right. Well said. I like that. That's a nice structure there. Nice structure. Yo, if you are just tuning in, you are tuned in to the Pimp Game Podcast, where we highlight positive, intelligent, motivated people. And today we got one of PG County's finest. That's right, Mr. Anthony Robinson, aka r&bmusic, right here on the Pimp Game Podcast. So today's quick topic of the show is, it's gone viral. Suge Knight, former CEO of Death Row Records, he put Ray J on blast about Whitney Houston's death, essentially saying that Ray J is responsible for Whitney Houston's death, allegedly. What's up? What is your thoughts on that? Do you think maybe he was right for that? He was wrong for that? Do you think there's some foul play in the death of the late, great Whitney Houston?
Surprised. This is the first time I've ever heard it. I've never even this is the first time I've ever heard anything of it or whatever. I hope it's not true, but I'm telling you, I've never heard anything prior to you. Just I'm just finding out the news right now.
Yeah. So Ray J put him on blast, put Suge Knight on blast, and then Suge Knight went on record, I guess, calling from jail and saying that Ray J, Whitney Houston's death was on Ray J's hands, pretty much. Now, allegedly, obviously, but that's really what happened.
Yeah, that's crazy if it's true. Like again, like I would I would want to probably do a little more research on it or whatever, and look at the clip that Suge said or whatever before giving my opinion on it. But that's crazy if that's true. But this is my first time hearing it.
So let me ask you this though, because in the music industry, obviously for years, from the beginning of time, even now, you got these rappers, some of the people in the industry, I mean, they're dropping like flies at young ages. Do you think sometimes, like, yo, when these people die, because even me, when I see it, I'm just like, something gotta be behind this, because no way these people are just everybody dying at a young age. It just don't make sense. What's your thoughts on that? At least where these rappers, singers, whatever, big moguls in the game, Prince, Michael Jackson, people like that, just dying at a young age.
Man, I do feel like that. It's a system, man. It's a system in terms of that we see. We see what they want us to see, and we have no idea about what any of them do in their personal life, whether it's gang related, whether it's drug related. I mean, we just honestly don't know. We can definitely all speculate, but in terms of knowing exactly, like for me personally, be able to say it's something going on, man. We just don't know. We don't obviously, and I don't know this to be true, but just looking from the outside in with the rappers, a lot of it seemed like that it's real gang based or whatever. So who knows who may be into it with whoever, saying that may be into it in terms of, Prince, Mike, or whatever. We see one thing, but who knows what they going through their personal life? Who knows if they on drugs or using drugs or whatever. We just don't know. It's and what I try not to do is just not to think, too far in it or whatever. Like it's unfortunately or whatever, you know, we wish the circumstances was different with everybody in terms of that the rappers wasn't passing away so young and our legends wasn't passing away so young, but trying to put our finger on why, you know, in my opinion, would be impossible. So I'd rather just not, you know, not
Okay, all
elaborate.
right. So I mentioned you got the show, you guys, Top 5 got the show coming up April 13th. What's up? Can we get a little on the spot 30-second vocals from Mr. Anthony Robinson right here, right now?
Oh,
Can we get 30
man,
seconds
30
of some
seconds.
vocals from Mr. Anthony Robinson?
So listen though, so I'm not really the singer. I'm really just like the hype person and the talker throughout the thing. If you wanted some vocals, I would have had to
Okay.
send a link to my singer and had a third person on there, and she'd have got down right then and there. But yeah, I'm mostly
Okay.
the crazy part about that or whatever. I initially, so as you know, I initially started off as just a keyboard player and ended up becoming the talker, ended up becoming the hype person, and now I'm pretty much the face of it. But yeah, nah, singing definitely was the, you know, I need to have a singer on stage with me, man. If y'all relying on me to do it, man, it's gonna be a rough night. It's gonna be a rough night.
Okay. All right. So we're gonna play a game called Who You Got? I'm gonna give you a couple of artists and you're gonna give me who you got. All right. All right.
Okay.
So first, we are gonna go Mary J. Blige and Mariah Carey. Who you got?
Mary J. Blige.
All right. But give you another one. We're gonna go Kelly Rowland and K. Michelle. Who you got?
Kelly Rowland.
All right. No love for K. Michelle?
No, there ain't no love with K. Michelle, but if I'm going one or the other, you know, I gotta roll with Kelly.
Okay. All right. So this is the last one. We're gonna go Usher and Jamie Foxx. Who you got?
And my bad, I should have asked this at the beginning. Are we judging this based upon catalog or vocals, or what are we judging this over?
A little bit of both, probably more so vocals than anything. Just vocals, really.
Usher.
Okay. All right. So, for that young boy out there looking to be the next Anthony Robinson, that young girl out there looking to be the next Anthony Robinson, what would you tell them if they wanted to get into the music game and do what you're doing? What would you tell them to watch out for if they wanted to get into the music industry?
What would I tell them to watch out for? Watch out. I would say watch out for people trying to turn you into them in their craft and out of their craft. And what I mean by that is during your journey, you're going to encounter and meet so many incredible people that's going to inspire you. But take what you can from them to adapt it into what you're doing, but don't necessarily become them. It's you know, some of these people may be incredible singers, but not so good songwriters, or some of these people may be incredible songwriters, but not good singers. Take what you can from the singers and take what you can from the songwriters, and don't let the singer, you know, because they may inspire you in that light to tell you that, hey, this is how you write also, and this is how you dress also, and this is how you take what you can, take each piece from anything that inspire you to adapt it into what you're doing to eventually create your own thing in terms of your own, you know, your own individual.
All right. So let me ask this, because I meant to ask this. I didn't ask this. I want to ask this. In terms of a band, can a band get hit with, I don't know, a 360 deal, sort of like an artist can? Is that a real thing in the industry? Can a band get a 360 deal?
Yeah. A band can get hit with it. I feel like anybody can get hit with it. It's just you know, it's just making sure that you know your business enough to know whether a 360 deal makes sense for you or not. You know, some 360 deals make absolutely sense depending on the artist and the position that they in, and some 360 deals don't. So it's really just understanding the music business, the music and the business of it to determine whether a 360 deal makes sense for you. But to answer your question, yeah, anybody can get all, get hit with a 360 deal.
Okay. All right. Well said. Well said. Well said. So let me ask you this in terms of if somebody want to work with you, have them, have you arrange a song for them, maybe go on tour with them, maybe help them with some writing or what have you. How do they get in contact with Anthony Robinson?
You could hit me through my email at info@antfarmmusic.com, or you could hit me at on Instagram, DM me at official Antfarm Music, or you could hit up Top 5's Instagram page at Top 5 DC, or you can send a or you can send a message to Top 5's website at www.top5dc.com.
I like it. I like it. I like it. All right. So for those people out there who've been rocking with you since the choir, in church, in high school, the Top 5 band, the go-go scene, all of that, any final thoughts for your fans before we sign off on Pimp Game?
Yeah, absolutely, man. Special shout going out to everybody. My home team, man, Oxon Hill, Maryland. Special shout going out to my boy Charlie Keys, who's the one who kind of got me rooted in terms of playing keys. Special shout going out to all of my Top 5 supporters. Yeah, my band, you know what I'm saying? Steve, Chris, Jay, Coop, my whole team, any venue, any club or restaurant that gave us an opportunity. Special shout going out to Kevin and his team. So yeah, everybody, man, we loving on everybody.
All right, shout out to everybody. I like it. All right, so it was a good show. Yo, tell everybody who you chilling with.
Man, this is your boy Antfarm Music, and I'm chilling with my boy Kenny D on the Pimp Game podcast.
All right. And that concludes our show for this evening. But before I let you go, I'd like to thank all my viewers out there for tuning in, and make sure you like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. That's right. You're going to subscribe and make sure you turn those notifications on. So when we upload videos, you are the first to get it. And last but not least, we'd like to thank the one and only Oxon Hill, Maryland's finest. That's right, Mr. Anthony Robinson, a.k.a. Antfarm Music, for blessing us with his presence on the show. All right, see you next time on Pimp Game. You don't want to miss it. Holla.